that's when we crossed the line. Now, that's what Harvey was talking about, that feels like that was the answer in the 60s, that if you had strong disagreement with someone, then that's how you deal with it. And we don't want to go there. And it is worse now, and we don't want to know what comes after this. It's not what we want. So that whole fighting back is bullshit. That's not how. It's not how you fight back politically.
We need gun laws changed.
We had a feed thing again. Sorry, guys. 1 second. How long did it go out? Sorry, guys.
We had another feed thing. Bruce and
But
What's up, guys? For those of you tuning in,
back up.
if you have not heard, I wasn't even gonna stream. Honestly, I don't care about streaming this kind of stuff in terms of like, I think a lot of people just do it for content, but it felt more personal for me. So I felt like I needed to go live in the moment to maybe express some thoughts and prayers for Charlie Kirk. So if you guys haven't heard, Charlie Kirk was shot at in Utah. It's funny, or not funny, but I saw his post where he had a ton of people. Like, it was crazy. It looked like the craziest event he's had so far, one of the best ones. And the school was packed, and it said 19 minutes ago, and then like I saw a video said 4 minutes ago he was shot at. But it was disgusting, guys. Yeah, I mean, I can't tell you guys don't watch the video. I watched the videos. It's sad, and it made my stomach, you know, it made me tear up, and it made me feel sick. You know, there was a few videos of him being shot, but one of them was a really close up, and just seeing the blood just gush out and you know, play out in real time was not, or almost real time, was crazy. But you know, the first thing that comes to mind, guys, is everybody starts pointing fingers right now. It was black people, it was the Democrats, it was this, and obviously we all have a bias, and we all kind of, from the logical side, we all can build conclusions. You know, but ultimately, I know for me, at least, the reason I don't talk about these things when they're happening is because I don't like being in the political drama stuff. Like, everyone makes everything so political, and they look at the first thing they look to do is just point fingers and, you know, blame everyone else. And I understand that, but you know, there's also a moment of sitting there and praying for people. And I think the reason this hits me really hard too is because Charlie Kirk is a huge name, and he's a big inspiration for people, and obviously he's inspired a lot of people. He's brought a lot of truth to the world, and I disagree with him on a lot of stuff, like I would with any other human. I'm seeing a tweet right now. It says, "I'm being told that Charlie Kirk is alive and at the hospital. Please pray for him." That'll be a genuine miracle if he survives. But the reason this is, I know for me it hits me harder, guys, because, you know, something I never talk about in my videos or anything, because I just do my videos. I don't really care about explaining my private life. But one thing that I agreed with my family before I started, or really when I started taking street debates more serious, was I've got to be willing to die for this thing. And it's crazy that I made that promise, and like someone on my Twitter a couple of weeks ago, maybe like a week ago, said, you got to be careful with these trans people because one day they're going to shoot you. They're going to pull a gun out and shoot you. And it didn't even take a few seconds to agree with them. Like, yeah, you're right. Like, I already know that. I already know that could be a case, but it's sad when you see something like this happen in real time, guys, with someone like Charlie Kirk, and it's on video, because you realize that even though you can conceptualize what you would be doing in terms of, I'm going to do this as a mission until the day that I die, you realize that it's realistic, you know, that your day could come any moment now. And this doesn't instill fear, but it definitely instills a different level of discomfort, you know, if I'm being honest, because I don't do these videos behind the scenes. I don't do these videos in my room. I do these videos in the streets, in the areas where people like these crazy people that are doing this, that are, you know, the assassination attempt on Trump, now Charlie Kirk, with Nick Fuentes, like the people that are doing this kind of stuff are people that have nothing to lose. They maybe are already suicidal. They already don't find purpose or meaning in life. And what's the best way they can go out is by feeling like they were a hero, feeling like they were a martyr for something big. Even though they don't follow a religion, they want to feel like I made a great cause. Like these people that when it was a trend a few months ago, maybe last year, people were setting themselves on fire. They don't care about setting themselves on fire. They don't care about a cause. They don't care about starting some sort of big movement. They care about being the face of that cause. They care about being the hero. And so when we see things like this, a lot of these people, man, they're already mentally deranged. And I'm not saying any specific group, but I'm saying that they don't have anything to lose. They have nothing to live for. And when they see people like Charlie, when they see people like Trump or other big names that are even not even big names, I know just for me, like I said, I do this stuff in the streets. They wanna feel like they're a hero. They wanna feel like I took him out. I ended that fascist. I ended that guy that was hating on my community. And now I'm gonna be loved and talked about for the rest of history. That's what they want. And that's the scary thing, guys, because once again, these people just they have nothing to live for and they have nothing to worry about. Is he still alive? I don't know, guys. I pray. I mean, that would be a miracle. And if you guys aren't on X, you guys can go see the stuff on X. That's where I was seeing a lot of stuff. I'll probably share my screen in a bit. I don't want to share it with you guys though. It's very disgusting. And like I said, it made me tear up just because it's like seeing that video. I don't know. It's all over Twitter, so you can't escape it. I also don't know. Do any of you guys that are on my chat, do you guys know the details in terms of? I saw two different videos. I saw a video of a white guy on the ground, like an older white man, and then I saw another video of a black man like behind a cop car. I'm not saying it is someone specific. I'm wondering if you guys know though. Guys, at the end of the day, you know, like it's hard because when we're in these boxes, we have enemies, right? Like I will call people my enemies, but they're not my enemies in the sense of it's personal. Like I don't genuinely hate anybody. But it is hard to escape this binary between you're on this side or you're on this side. Right? You're either with God or you're against God. It's hard to escape it because of things like this. But what I will say is that the one thing we just need to do is pray. You know, because this is real life. You know, we see it from the social media perspective. You guys see the videos and you guys watch the drama and you might not be able to fully conceptualize it. I don't think any of us can. But the reality is that this is real life. Like this is genuinely real life, guys. When I talk about like the kids transitioning and the agenda that they're pushing, and this shit is real fucking life. Like that's a sad thing. This is real life. We're so desensitized now with social media because we see violence every day. We see like the girl that just got stabbed in the train. That was just a few days ago, and it was trending everywhere. And now this thing happens the day after, and then the Epstein files, and then this with Trump, and then Iran, and then there's like problems every single day, right? And so for me, I don't like filling myself with a lot of this drama. I don't really pay attention to it because it doesn't benefit me in those ways. But at the same time, I am connected in this I guess in this field, you know, and I do have a mission. I do have a mission with it. How long ago did this happen? Yeah, 1 hour ago, I think. Like I said, guys, I was on Twitter. I saw Charlie posted like a video, like it feels like 4 videos. That thing was packed. The Utah, it looked beautiful, beautiful weather. And then like it says 4 minutes ago, it said that Charlie Kirk was shot. Hold on, guys. Let me disconnect my audio. Can you guys hear me okay?
Happening to a point where, you know, it's awful and it's shocking, but you can't say you didn't see it coming.
Why is this not changing? I'm trying to share my screen with you guys. 1 second.
It should. I mean, honest to God, how does anybody at this point say, oh yeah, and look, this may not have been an assault rifle, but my God, solve this problem. You know, try.
Guys, I'm trying to share my screen.
How can it not help to ban assault rifles? How can it not help to ban assault rifles?
Guys, you guys, I don't know if you can hear this right now.
People get shot.
This guy's saying, how can it not help? The guy from TMZ is saying, how can it not help
and I know that
banning
sounds
assault
insane.
rifles? I'm going to tell you guys the damn truth on this shit, because I hate when people just use these weapons as like I guess in a sense, a scapegoat. I just can't share my screen for some reason. Why is it not working? The problem isn't weapons. In the same way, if you want to blame guns for violence, then you should ban cars. You should ban people from driving cars. We have a mental health crisis, but I'm going to give you guys a different perspective than what you typically hear people talk about on social media. So, well, first off, social media, you know, I think there was this Netflix documentary where it showed how people that run social media and the people that own the biggest social media companies, they spend millions, I think even billions of dollars a year getting the best psychologists and mind manipulators to know and set up the algorithm to where not only do you become addicted to it, but you become reliant and dependent on it. And so social media, people like to say, well, you know, like look back at the videos in 1950, everyone was happier because there was only white people in the US. But at the same time, social media didn't exist. Social media itself, if you look with social media, we are incentivized to hate. We are incentivized to have drama. That's why the videos, when I post clips, people hate me for the clips that they hear, but that's just the social media game. You are incentivized, and the algorithm incentivizes you and pushes you for engaging in drama, for spreading hate. And that's the reality. Like, that's what I fucking hate about this industry, guys. I honestly do. But I just have to take the bullet because it's like, if you want to spread a message, which is we have a culture problem, we have a God problem, not a gun problem, not a shooting problem. We have a moral issue, guys. And this is the one thing that I remember debating the Sam Cedar guy on, was the more we deviate from religion, the more we deviate from the very one that gave us a foundation, a telos, the more evil we're going to see. So when we're hooked on our phones, when we're worshiping our phones, when we're letting social media, TikTok, Twitter, consume us fully, we are deviating more from the guy, from the one, from the being that actually made us in his image and gave us a purpose. And with social media, once again, it is addictive. Imagine giving, like kids nowadays, you give them a tablet, you have a free nanny there, you get someone else to watch your kid, and now all this random shit is going into their brain, and now it is forming, it is structuring your kid's brain to be violent, to be evil, to hate a specific group of people just for no reason. So that's the hard part with this, guys, is the depravity that we live in now, not because of guns, not because of what they want to blame everybody or everything for, but because of the deviation from God. And that's why, like I said, when I agreed to do this street debate stuff, I told my family, I've got to be willing to die for this. And me saying that isn't even far from reality anymore. Because like I said, these people want to be martyrs. They don't have a religion, but they want to die for a good cause, to be a hero. And, you know, it's not meant, like when they say men are evil, when they say men are the ones that are bringing all the violence, men are committing all the crimes, men are always going to run this world. Men are always going to be at the top of the hierarchy, and they're also going to be at the bottom of the pole. They're going to be some of the most successful, and they're always going to make up the majority of the bums. However, it is not men that are dangerous. It is men that are not guided by some sort of moral compass that bring about the most danger to society. Think about that, guys. It is not men that are dangerous. It is the men without a moral compass that are about to bring the most danger to society. So when we see all these evil men, or all these evil people, as they want to call it, throughout these videos, we need real men to stand up with real conviction, with real principles, with real morals, with the real sense of grounding and ethical and way of living to bring about change. That's what we need, guys.
But it's fact. Tell me what that argument is. What are you giving up?
It takes a way for me to protect myself from people who break the law and will find these guns anyway.
You can still get a pistol. You can still
Guys,
get
I don't
a
know why
rifle.
I can't share my screen. I'm trying to share my
The
screen.
counterpoint would be, like, Chicago has incredibly stiff gun laws, and there are how many shootings every weekend there?
So it's like,
Hey, for those of you guys watching live, we got
the laws, I
1100
think,
live on
prevent
X.
good people
Do you guys have
from
any
getting those
updates?
weapons, but are the bad people able to still get their hands
People
on
are
it?
saying that
yeah,
like
but
the
make it a
debate stuff
question.
is.
Make it harder, and it's not.
People are saying we're like there's no point in debating with these people anymore. There's no point in and engaging with these people. The debate stuff is over, and like I understand a part of that. And we also live in I don't know. I never lived through the 1960s, 1950s. I can't imagine how it can be worse than what it is now, being killed just for your beliefs. Um, but I will say, guys, um, I know for me, I can only speak for what I know and how I view life. I don't have some sort of pragmatic stance that I'm following. I'm not following results. I'm not following, can I change this liberal's mind? I'm not following, can I convert like 100 people? I just have a principle to God. That's the only one. I stopped supporting Trump. I'm not against Trump, but I stopped supporting Trump a few months ago. I don't, because of principles. I have only an obligation to God, and that's it. All this political stuff could be made up. All this political stuff could be fabricated. All this political stuff, it could be fake to a great extent, and it could be manipulated by people that maybe want to see us be more divided. But they are not my commitments. I don't have a commitment to any of the people that necessarily watch me. I don't have a commitment to the people that enjoy the videos. I don't have a commitment to the Republican Party, the quote-unquote conservative movements. The only commitment that we must have is to God. Because if everything else is false, God is the only one you can depend on. And sadly, but at the same time, there's a good thing about it, is that you've got to be willing to die for this stuff, guys. You know, and for me, I have a family. I'm still young. But Charlie Kirk also has a family. Charlie Kirk is still young, and he's done an amazing job, and he's put his name out there, and he's showing that you've got to come at these people hard, not because you're going to change their mind or you're trying to change their mind, but because you have an obligation to God. And that's something that nobody can take away from you. You know, people live life fearing death constantly. Like, that's their objection. Like, their main objection in life is preventing death. But are you really living at that point? If you're not seeking to fulfill God's purpose, if you're not trying to fulfill God's promise to us, then what's the point of life? Everything else is meaningless. Money, success, quote unquote, fame, popularity, notoriety, it is all meaningless. But the only one you have an obligation to is God, and everything else follows.
You're not going to solve the government. You don't need to arm yourself against the government with an assault rifle.
And then people are asking the status. Obviously, this is a constant.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We
Guys, I have no idea why I can't share my screen.
They haven't said.
Yeah, you know, someone said, but Eliezer, people like you and Charlie Kirk are doing good things. Who cares about what people say? I don't care about the haters. Honestly, that's what I'm saying, is like, I don't care about the quote unquote haters. This isn't like, many times I just hide my phone and I don't look at anything at all, videos, comments, anything. But what I'm saying is, like, people like Charlie are trying to fulfill a purpose, and I disagree with some stuff, right? With, like I do with anybody. But ultimately, the only one that you are going to satisfy, or at least aim to satisfy, is God. Because everything else people could be doing things for the wrong reasons. You know, people could be doing things just for money, and they don't actually care about the cause. People could be doing things just for fame and ego and pride, but they don't actually care about the cause. But the only one that truly knows your intentions behind the scenes is God. You know, there's so many kids out there, guys, and like, the reason why I'm so passionate about this is because there's so many kids out there that are struggling. You know, there's so many kids that are in pain right now. You know, people that are living, you know, without finances, abusive homes, foster homes, shelters. And those things genuinely hit me. And there's a purpose behind it. You know, there's a purpose behind trying to fulfill a solution for those problems. It's not just about, you know, the pride and the ego. Men are driven by ego. Men are really driven by ego now. You know, especially after the Industrial Revolution, when men were incentivized and sort of they were given these ideas that as a man you must compete against other men and sort of fill a higher duty, which is your ego. It is not some sort of transcendent being that you're trying to satisfy. It is just your own ego. And that's why when I was in the business, in business, guys, I was trying to seek money. That's all I had was money. And every single day that I would wake up, I would compare myself to another guy that was making a lot more money. And I would just think to myself, man, I got to catch up to that guy and make more money. And when I released that, when I let go of that, I found true purpose and meaning in God. And this is why this is deeper than politics, guys. Like when you see people like Charlie Kirk and the other videos, and I know I have a lot of friends that do activism stuff as well. It is beyond politics. It's not about changing minds. It's not about, I mean, obviously in a sense it is, but it's not about getting views, even though those things are good and that you do need them. You do need money. You do need funds. You do need views because you want to change more minds. There's a greater purpose beyond that, right? So from a pragmatic stance, you would say, I'm posting videos for a year straight and nobody's watching, nobody cares about me. I'm going to give up because the results aren't there. But that's if you're just chasing results. But if you're chasing a purpose, if you're chasing, I've got to fulfill something that God gave us all these problems to find solutions for. I've got to commit to him. That's where you stop being scared of death, guys. And that's one of the best feelings you can have as a man, is you stop fearing death. Because you are given life on earth where you will also face death, but the true life and death that actually matters is in eternity, right? How are you spending life in eternity? That is what truly matters, because the physical flesh will die, but the soul won't. And if you just live life trying to fulfill a result, if you're just attached to a specific number, a monetary gain, a level of success or achievement or notoriety, this stuff will never fulfill you. There's a reason why, especially people that get money at a young age, they're still looking for something. There's still a void that they're trying to fill. They get into drugs, they get into addiction, gambling. There's still something they're trying to fill, because God does give us an innate purpose, guys. And I think this is just a perfect time with this situation that happened, that we've got to get more people on the streets. There's a reason why I named myself Street Debates. I wanted to do this stuff. I wanted to go into the action, and I wanted to inspire more people to come into the action as well. Was put your ass out on the streets and face these demons head on, because this is the Antichrist. These people that are pushing all this bullshit, that are calling for violence, that want you dead, the people that want you to be assassinated, the people that don't care about your children, the ones that say that Christians are evil and we need to get them out of public school, etc., etc. This is our purpose. This is our mission, to get on these fucking streets and face these people head on and destroy every single bit of their worldview. Not because of a pragmatic stance, because you want to get a result, not because you want to gain followers and viewers and subscribers, even though that will be a byproduct, but because there's a greater purpose beyond you guys. Charlie, yeah. Charlie Kirk is a legend. I mean, the amount that he's growing, the amount that he's been able to influence other people, the impact that he's been making is awesome. But if you also see his level of debate style, he put a lot of time into and behind the scenes, and he always had God as his foundation. That was the thing, is when you have God as your absolute foundation, when you start from God, when you don't put God to the side, when you start from God and everything else builds on that, it's impossible to lose. I want to share my screen, guys. I just
2 o'clock Central here.
My thing's not working for some reason. Yeah. Glenn Beck confirmed Charlie Kirk is stable in the hospital. When I say any of these things, guys, I don't know. I'm just reading it as I go. Don't take anything that I'm saying to be absolutely true within the situation. Can you guys hear my screen if I play these videos?
Yeah, I think it cut out. Yeah, a friend of mine that's close to the family said he didn't make it.
That's horrible. What? So he didn't make it.
That's what they said.
Most likely not. Look at the video. The entrance wound is huge. Like, look at the hole that it leaves in his neck.
Dan, have you got any other information?
No, that's all I was told, was that he didn't make it. Yeah, I think it cut out. Yeah.
I don't think Dan Bilzerian as a trustworthy source. Honestly, that guy's, yeah. But Do you guys have any sources or anything, any updates on your guys' end? Let me find another maybe update. You know what I absolutely hate about this kind of stuff too, guys, is that in the moment right now, people are emotional. Even the enemies are emotional. But I guarantee you in the next week, the enemies, the people that were acting emotional on the day of because everyone's emotions are high, they're gonna use that against people like me. I know for me, like, do you want to end up like him? Do you want this to happen to you? Because I've gotten those kind of threats in person. It's like, look at what happened to Trump. You're next, you know? And so people's true colors will come out in a few days. Glenn Beck said, pray for healing and a miracle, getting where that Charlie Kirk has been stabilized. Pray it is true. That would be a second miracle without a doubt. Trump's and Kirk's. The hospital's taking blood now. I can't even imagine, because when I watched the video of that happening, I saw the close-up video, which was disgusting. So much blood just gushed out super fast. And to me, it's like, how can you lose that much blood that fast and then survive? That is what is will be miraculous if everything goes well. I also do wonder what kind of impacts, if surviving, what kind of impacts that can have on you know, on someone's mind and body. I don't know if I can play this. Well, let me see. Benny Johnson shared a video. I don't know if I can I play this video? I think I can. Can I play this? It's like a further angle. Can I play it on YouTube? I'm not sure if I can.
So, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?
Too many.
Okay. Now 5 is a lot, right? I'm gonna give you some credit. Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great. Get down. What the fuck?
I hope you guys couldn't really see that, honestly. I was gonna skip it and I didn't know at what point it was gonna stop. But either way, I mean, you guys can still watch the video on X, and oh man. Guys, you see this? Like, this makes it very hard to, you know, to want to be peaceful with these people. This is Hassan. Look, no prayers. No, I hope he's good. It seemed like to me that this tweet right here was just to align with this political agenda of being anti-guns. Ultimately, guys, God will always win. And the good thing about this kind of stuff, guys, honestly, the good thing about this is that when people like this guy right here, that I wish I could use words if I wasn't on YouTube, if I was just on X or Kick, I would do it. But people like this will show what this party stands for, and the fruits will reveal themselves. You don't have to persuade people. This is why I tell people, you don't have to persuade people to leave their party. They're persuading themselves. All you have to do is add the cherry on top. All you have to do is destroy their views through a form of debate, make them look really fucking stupid, and people like him are going to finish the job for you. That's it. Like, I grew up liberal, guys. I grew up in a liberal house. We grew up on food stamps, Section 8 housing, trailer parks, staying at shelter homes, being homeless for some time, abuse in the homes. Like, I grew up taking in all the bullshit that you hear from the liberal view of you're going to face racism, you're going to stay broke, the people over there are racist, they hate you. I grew up hearing all this stuff growing up. And even when Trump won in 27 or whenever the year, I think 2016, and I was in high school, I remember I was scared because the people in my life told me that he was a racist, that they hated Mexicans, that there was going to be a lot of violence against Mexicans. And you take in all this information and you take it to be true. But eventually, what woke me up, guys, wasn't that I saw a debate. It wasn't that I saw Republicans or conservatives making great points. It was obviously Christ showing me the truth and showing me a different view of life. But it was also these people revealing their true colors. It was, you gain a little bit of wisdom, you gain a little bit of discernment, and you see that these people are self-sabotaging to the max, because they are the ones that make up the idea of racism. They are the ones that are infiltrating schools, politics, and streets with this bullshit trans agenda. They are the ones that are saying that your kids are born gay and trans, and they're not putting all these beliefs in these little kids' minds, saying that you are in the wrong body and we now need to give you cosmetic surgeries to bring you to a level of normalcy. So these people like Hassan, I hope that they keep tweeting stuff like this and that they keep dividing amongst themselves with stuff like this, so their own party can see how they react in tough situations. Because a true man and your true abilities aren't revealed when things are good. They're revealed when things are tough. When you're under pressure, when you're under the fire, that's when your true colors are going to show. So right now, this moment in time, within what's going on within our political sphere and the way our country is, this is when you truly see people's true colors. And they're going to do our job for us. But it's sad, guys. I truly, I truly call you guys out. If you're a parent, if you have kids, if you have family, there's going to be no greater duty in life that you can take on than to fix the problems that are occurring. Like if you have a kid, the one thing that would make you the proudest is seeing your son or daughter look up to you and say, that's my hero. That's a person that influences me because they work hard and they follow a mission and they don't give up when things get hard. There's nothing fulfilling like that. Ultimately, guys, these kids are, it's a war. When I started this anti-Christ fight, I started it with the idea of a war. It's either us versus them. It's the antichrist versus the Christ. It is the believers versus the unbelievers. It is us versus the antithesis. If you don't indoctrinate your children with your Christian beliefs or with what is right, somebody else will indoctrinate them with some other bullshit that will permanently ruin their lives. And that's why dogma itself is inevitable. You cannot escape dogma itself. So we're all going to the same finish line. The only thing that we should be concerned about is who's going to get there first. Who's going to get to your child first? Who's going to influence them at a higher level? Is it going to be the teachers and the liberals out there? Or is it going to be you as a parent that steps the fuck up and inspires them by example? That sets good values and good systems and good morals into them. Like, that's what you got to be questioning, guys, because this stuff is greater beyond money. The money itself will come and go. The success, quote unquote, the notoriety, it's all going to come and go. But I want you to think of right now with Charlie Kirk, like if Charlie Kirk doesn't make it today, the one thing that we can say with certainty is that he lived a great life because he was inspiring so many people and he was sharing the truth with people. And I don't see what greater purpose you can fulfill than that itself. Whether you agree or disagree with him on a lot of different things like I do, that is irrelevant. There's no greater purpose than sharing the truth with people at all. I'm seeing like these things like 30 minutes ago. It says like 35 minutes ago that Charlie Kirk passed away, but I don't know.
To pray for Charlie. I see there's a couple of Twitter spaces. I'm going to go into one of them so you guys could hear real-time updates.
In his 60s or late 50s, was arrested with bald hair. No details about the about the shooter. Top level sources have told Tim Pool and others that
are confirmed as well.
Well, yeah, but I wouldn't trust Breitbart on this stuff.
Very
Breitbart's just quoting Tim. So, yeah, I'm just saying it's Breitbart.
Yeah.
And we want that to be true, and I'm hoping it's true. And if we can get a full recovery out of this, I think that we're all shocked if he survives, because this was not a grazing of the ear. This was an assassination attempt. And if he doesn't pull through an assassination, remembering if he's stable but critical, that means nothing, because he could be permanently damaged. He could be permanently disabled. He could have, to have some more surgeries. We don't know the state of where he's in. I believe from my previous time in working in urgent care, he's stable, meaning like he's not declining. They have his vitals consistent, and I don't believe he's on life support. Then he's probably not on a breathing machine or something. So they've probably stabilized his body. Again, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but he has. See if we can bring this back up here for a second. Just remember to remind you guys that Charlie Kirk does have 2 small kids and a very, very lovely wife. Charlie is a friend of the show here. I know there's a lot of splintering on the right wing ideologically on, whether people support the places and the people he supports, but there's no time for that right now.
No.
It's not part of the discussion. Quite frankly, anyone who makes it about that is a piece of shit. So this is not what this is about. And so we're going to give you more updates. Just so you guys know, about halfway through this, in about 20 minutes, we're going to talk about a couple other things while we're waiting to get more information on this. This is an ongoing and breaking story, and I did reach out to find out some more details, but this is absolutely horrifying for the state of the country. And I think to kind of pass it over here for a moment, you're going to ask yourself what kind of country you live in where you're not even done reeling from a unprovoked racial murder, right? But like an assassination, because it's a politically motivated racial attack, right? You have a black man, DeMarcolos or something like that. What's his name?
DeCarlos Brown Jr.?
It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
He should be dead, Brown Jr., to be quite frank. So you have this guy, and you know those images you see of, let's see if I can bring this up here for a moment. This image from the young girl who was savagely murdered by a very disgusting, this image right here. I mean, this is absolutely insane. That image of a young woman
I guess he dropped. I can't see him. I'm sorry. Justin, go ahead.
No, I'm not getting any new reports. I think by the latest news accounts I see coming from local Utah press, they've noted that he is in critical condition in surgery, and I'm guessing they'll try everything they can to save him. I think the challenge we have now is kind of waiting to see, one, what are his prospects and where does this end up, and then two, who was the shooter. There are a couple eyewitness report accounts of people that were interviewed by local news who said that guy was not the shooter. But again, this is all so new, so crazy.
Did we just lose Justin for a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, yeah. I know I know the campus, and I know the place where they said the shooting was, and I know where where they presumed the Lossy cafeteria porch where this guy presumably was. And I don't know. This is a weird situation. So we'll have to see what transpires in the end here. But I think it's gonna have a lot of repercussions. I saw already a very prominent account on the right saying this is war, but you can see even from people underneath that.
You have to allow people to have views that are abhorrent to you. I mean, the best example in my lifetime was Skokie, Illinois, where the KKK wanted to march in Skokie. And the ACLU at the time fought for their right to do it, even though what they were doing was abhorrent, because there was a right of freedom of expression and speech. And that's gone. It's gone with the ACLU, by the way.
Yeah.
It's gone with the ACLU. They're not that way anymore. They're not. And I don't know who is. But you got to tolerate people you disagree with and strongly disagree with. And what we tend to do now is we kill them.
Right.
And
why not just continue to debate them?
Right.
And fight them at the ballot box. I mean, if you're really pissed off about the policies that they're pushing, then go out and fucking vote. Go out and vote for something that isn't that.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just going to say, I'll just say this because they say it's Turning Point USA sources, which are Charlie's company. They say that he is still in critical condition, but stabilizing is the word that they used.
That would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, after you see that video, it's like hard to believe that, but
if he's stabilizing, that's a
who is saying this?
Turning Point, his organization.
A reporter online is saying that they have spoken with Turning Point USA sources and that Charlie Kirk is reportedly stabilizing is the word they use, but still in critical condition. But stabilizing is a word they used. Turning Point USA sources, they say they've spoken with.
Yeah.
Whether that's true, we obviously don't know, but Turning Point is Charlie's company.
Yeah. It's just they're basing it on a reporter, not first-hand information.
No, they say they've spoken with Turning Point USA sources confirmed to me, they say.
But yeah, it's not an official statement from
right.
Point.
So I sort of take it with a grain of salt, but Turning Point is his company for what it's worth.
Right.
So
What did they say about that?
They said that he is still in critical condition, but he is stabilizing. Stabilizing.
Ugh.
Yeah. Charlie Kirk is reportedly stabilizing, but in critical condition after being shot at Utah Valley University. Turning Point USA sources confirmed to me.
Thing is, whoever if the shooter is the person that we've seen getting arrested, not a student.
No, somebody. I mean,
and I guess there's a
spokesperson
for the university who said the shooter is not a student.
Right. Yeah.
So we're going to tell
this
you.
isn't a young mind.
No, it's
being.
Right, because he gets a lot. I mean, there are supporters, there are people who disagree with him at the events. A lot of times he goes back and forth. It's not the supporters talking most of the time, and he has usually good conversations with people. I think they actually come to an understanding a lot of times.
So we are waiting, just so you guys know, for some kind of official word, and the reason I hope they're right that he's stabilizing.
Yeah, we just don't know.
We don't want to say this is so because they're basing it on sources. And we don't know who the sources are. Right? I mean, it could be.
No idea.
We have no idea who their sources are.
No idea.
And this is where misinformation flies. So, we're not saying one way or the other. I got a phone call from somebody from another media outlet who I know well. And they were looking at an Instagram of a news outlet. We don't know where they're getting their stuff from, so neither of us were putting that up.
No.
So we're, monitoring this. We're going to let you guys know the second you'll see it. You'll see what's going on in the office when you see it. By the way, can you kill my mic for a sec?
I don't think anyone's around to do that. I don't know if there's anyone around to kill us.
Yeah, that's the question. Someone said, hope he survives, but will he be normal mentally from his speech, etc.? That would be the question. I doubt it. I think it'd just be an amazing miracle just itself for him to live. And then the question would be the other part, which is how would his life look? I think it is going to be amazing though, guys. And I pray that God does another miracle here. But I think either way, it's truly gonna, as I've seen some people say, that it's gonna be devastating for our nation in terms of what it would look like from a political stance. Because even if you want to stay out of politics, it's gonna be inevitable to see that we are, to avoid that we are at war with one another, that there is a right and a left, that there is a us versus them and a God versus anti-God. It's gonna be hard to avoid that. For those of you guys asking, you haven't heard the news, Charlie Kirk was at hosting an event in Utah at the Utah University, and he was shot at. And it's all over X. You can see it all over X. It's like I said, it was crazy because I saw a video of him. It said 20 minutes ago, 19 minutes ago, and he was showing the university was a huge event, like huge. I was just thinking, this is crazy. School just started, and he is coming back better than ever. And then I see another tweet like 4 minutes ago saying people were shot at the event, and then I see more videos saying that Charlie Kirk was the one that was shot. And then eventually you start seeing all the crazy stuff, man. I think it's irrelevant. Honestly, I always think it's irrelevant because I see someone on my chat say a registered Democrat in the state of Utah. I don't know. I always think that's irrelevant. Like, who cares? Like, who cares? They can be registered Republican. Like, let's be honest. Who's going to be the one that is going to want to kill Charlie Kirk? Like, it doesn't really take a stupid registration, whatever they registered as, to know what their motive probably was. Does Utah have the death penalty? I am not sure. Someone said, don't seek retribution. Let God handle it. I mean, it depends on what you mean by retribution. If you think that people are just going to stay silent or stay, covered up, and they're going to stay silent and they're not going to make much noise, they're not going to fight back against the amount of hate and violence that is directed towards people like us right now, then I think that's absurd. Honestly, I think we do need retribution, not in the way that you might be thinking, right? Not in the way where we go and take matters into our own hands from a physical stance, but still important to stand up for what is right. It's still us versus them in a sense. When I say us versus them, I don't mean political parties. I mean the believers versus the anti-believers. People talk about the wars. They talk about how, well, people in the Middle East have wars because of God, because they believe in God. That's why atheism is true. Well, no. The reason why we have so much violence and so much hate is because it's always the believers versus the anti-believers. Is this a war on religion or politics? It's without a doubt, it's religion. I mean, religion is the very foundation and essence by which everything else derives from. You can't get politics without religion. You can't get culture without religion. Everything is religious. So it's absolutely a war on religion. Because if I say graping someone is good and someone else says graping someone is bad, you come to an impasse where you have to make a moral decision on what is right and what is wrong. And the only thing that can justifiably educate you on what is right and wrong, that can educate you and give you the sense of what we should do, is religion itself. So I'm like getting like comments. I'm trying to read. I meant to not to shoot influencers, but people. That's what the attribution. Oh man, it's crazy because I've been like saying on my videos soon like that I'm starting Prove Me Wrong debate tour as well, and I think you mentally just have to have conversations with your family. And like, we're not at a normal state, guys. Like, if you think that things are the way they were 8 years ago, 10 years ago, you would be a fool. But I was just thinking, it's like, you have to have conversations before you go and do this stuff with your family. Like, you never know what could happen. Like, when Charlie went to this event today and his whole team got prepared, and then you see an amazing amount of people that show up, you wouldn't imagine that something like this happens, but anything can happen any moment, anywhere. Religion and politics can never be separated. Exactly. But who's with me, guys? I genuinely want to know, like, who's with me, because it's easy to say stuff and do stuff behind the screens, like in the comfort of your own home. I think that's very easy. And I think it's also great and necessary. But I want to know, like, after stuff like this happens, like, who's going to stand up and fight back instead of do the opposite and contract and get small and get scared? Like, who's going to actually step up now? Like, how much further does this have to go before people start standing up for what is right? Like, there's people even like Myron Gaines, they're going out and they're doing these prove me wrong things. Like, I think with people like Myron Gaines too, like at the level that they're at, doing the stuff at universities like that, or even just downtown Miami, I think that stuff you guys don't even realize how dangerous that stuff is, just from his level of notoriety already too, and how much people hate them and how much people want to see something happen to them. You know, people don't realize it, but this is a wake up moment now. Yep, we must stand up bravely in the light. Like, I think the way I view this, guys, is if you're going to see a situation like this and know who the enemies are, and you're going to say, well, I'm not going to attack the enemies anymore. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to, you know, not make myself known or make my views known. In the same way that Islam, for example, Islam itself will threaten you with violence if you speak bad against them. So therefore, a lot of people stay quiet. If you're going to take that position, then we're never going to make progress. Because it's inevitably, even if you like it or not, it's always going to be us versus them, the believers versus the anti-believers. Yeah, I Phosphorus, you said, when are we going to talk about what is needed to resolve the problem, people? I mean, I 100% agree, and I was talking about this earlier. The problem is the deviation from religion. And when I say religion, I just mean the body of Christ, right? That is the problem. So men and guns aren't the problem. There will always be men and guns that can commit a lot of violence, but it is men that are guided by some sort of moral compass that will bring about the solutions and that will bring about the protection. So it is not men or guns that are the problem. It is the men with the lack of moral compass that are the problem. Those are the scariest men. So I've told my family this too, before I go out and film. The people I fear the least are like Muslims and like liberals or just like normal level-headed people. The people that you would be more paranoid about are the trans people. Like those people that are just like truly deranged. And you know why, guys? They have nothing left to lose. They have everything to gain. They want to be seen as a hero because everything for them is about pride and ego and making themselves feel like they are important. And they are the scariest ones. They are the ones that will do all this stupid stuff. They are the ones that, like I said, if you're already suicidal, if you already feel like you have nothing left to live for, in their mind, they're going to think, why not do something special before I go out? You know, but the people that are level-headed, just the normal everyday liberal, the normal everyday Democrat, a lot of them have been indoctrinated to become evil. I would agree with that. But a lot of them can also be very rational, very nice people. And those aren't the scary ones. The scary ones are the ones that have absolutely not only deviated from God, but they have put hating God at their forefront. Every part of their being is to hate God and everything that he stands for, and everything and everyone that believes in God. They are their enemy. That is the scariest thing. And that is the solution too, guys, is to bring about a cultural shift to where we are bringing people back to God, because we have seen historically time and time again that propaganda does work. Now, everyone is going to engage in a level of dogma, and a lot of people are going to engage in propaganda. And propaganda is going to be used for the malleable minds. And sadly, most people's minds are malleable. There's a reason how the way social media wants things to flow. The people that control social media, and they pay billions of dollars to set the algorithm and to entice you and addict you to these social media platforms, the same way that they manipulate this. And it's easy for people to just follow like sheep blindly. That's the same way you've got to use propaganda and dogma for your own benefit, because you know what is right and you know what is best for them. I am curious, what do you guys think in the chat? Like, if Charlie Kirk did pass away, because I'm seeing other people's comment different stuff, and I don't know what to believe, so I don't want to spread false news. But if Charlie Kirk did pass away right now, just imagine that right now. And even if he does it, but I would say it still takes a stronger hit if he does pass away. What's actually going to happen over the next few weeks and months? What shift and what changes are gonna occur? Because I don't know. I don't see it getting better. I see it getting substantially worse. I only see it being where both sides point fingers at one another, and they're both trying to push their own biased legislation against each other. And so I don't know. I'm very curious. There's a lot of false reports. I agree. Guys, for those of you guys listening in the chat, take everything with a grain of salt, because there's other people saying other stuff. That's why I don't really want to say much, because I don't like everything's just unfolding?
The suspect now is not in custody. Okay. Hey, would you mind if I gave you my cell number? The Utah affiliate that's handling this, they're saying that they were told that they did have a suspect in custody, and they have not heard anything from the school countering that. CNN is saying that, Jamie, I believe they were quoting the school.
Yes, they were,
saying,
and I believe NBC is saying the same thing.
But I just talked to our affiliate, who said they've gotten no word that they've retracted.
Okay, so just to be clear here, it looks like NBC News is saying authorities do not have a suspect in custody, according to Utah Valley University spokesperson Ellen.
Hopeful. Okay, I'll just say that. I do not feel hopeful. And I haven't felt hopeful since I saw the video before I came on the show. If that was real, there's just no way one can survive it.
That video was real. I heard from an eyewitness that said it was like a water fountain coming of his neck. So that video is real, and I don't know how he survived. I don't know how he survived that.
I pray so hard for his family and for everybody at Turning Point too. I mean, he's their leader. You know, this young, upstart, strong, fun, funny, spicy guy who would go anywhere, would talk to anyone. You know, I said earlier, he and I have an event together in 2 weeks in Virginia. I was going to one of those campuses with him.
Me too.
I don't know. I feel like everyone over there must be so traumatized. And I worry for our children. You know, my kids love him. I know that they're praying that right now too. My husband, we have a family text chain. My husband texted saying, there's some upsetting news. Please come right home and do not look at the internet. And unfortunately, they're kids, they're teenagers, and they'd already seen it. It's these videos. It happened in a public place. There were millions of cameras. Everybody had their iPhone. It's what you do at a Charlie Kirk event. It's what Charlie wants you to do. He loves it when the clips go viral and his messages and his exchanges with people get as great a circulation as possible. And if this is the ultimate exchange that he had, I don't know. It's like,
I found out from my daughter on the phone. And she's not the same. She'll never be the same.
Right. Right. This is a level of trauma for everyone involved, every eyewitness, everyone who loves Charlie. You're exactly right. It's like, he's a friend. Like, for me, Glenn, I remember, you know, there was this weird period, and you can relate to this too, because I was on the outs with Trump, you know, or so people thought. You know, he and I had made up, but I definitely wasn't his favorite. And when I launched this show, it was that way. And for the first year or so, you know, MAGA definitely had some questions like, I don't know, I'm not sure, you know. And even I at that time didn't know. I knew I voted for Trump and I was like supporting him, but I still had questions, you know, I was still kind of licking my wounds. And Charlie reached out and asked if I would go on his show. And I remember thinking, that's a big risk for him, because he doesn't know whether his audience is going to like me. You know, like he's actually taking a risk here. And I appreciated it, because like Charlie doing that was in a way like a kindness to me.
Can I tell you something, Megan?
Yeah.
It's more of a kindness, because I think you know, he did know you would not be good for the audience.
Yeah.
He knows his audience. He knew it was going to cost him a price to put you on at that time. But he did it anyway, because he believed in you, and he believed in different voices and bringing people together. I mean, I think it's very gracious the way you're saying it, but I think it's even more than that. It's even more than that.
Well, I mean, at that moment, you know, a unexpected, beautiful friendship was formed because I didn't know anything about Charlie. Can I tell you something, Glenn? You know what I knew about Charlie? I knew what the right wing says about Charlie. These more established.
Charlie Kirk has been assassinated. He did die, and the leader of Turning Point USA, a major voice of the MAGA and American First movement, leader of the Turning Point USA political movement, and a key figure in electing Donald Trump again to his second term, has passed away. And the senseless act of violence and assassination against him at the Utah Valley campus. Charlie Kirk passes away at 31, and he leaves 2 children. This is a very, very somber day for America's politics. This is a very terrible day that should be acknowledged, and I think it is being acknowledged. And as people are highlighting, a lot needs to be addressed. I would just say we do not have another aspect of this. We don't have the shooter has not been captured. The person that they suspected was who they suspected was detained was not in fact the shooter. That was incorrect. So the shooter is still out. Clearly, Charlie Kirk was targeted and in this assassination.
Oh no!
And the assassination. What I would say to people when we're trying to go through the motive, I agree with everybody here that this is an act of political violence, that this is an act of domestic terrorism. No dispute. It is an act of terrorism. Since we don't know the shooter, we don't know the motive. And you can say something is a terrorist attack and not understanding the overarching motive for the reasoning for it. We don't know the political motivation of this person. For all we know, I'm not saying this is, for all we know, this could have been an ISIS-inspired attack. For all we know, we have no, and that's where I think, that's why I'm trying to, with the people that are speculating, because I've seen multiple times when acts of violence happens in mass shootings, and it fits a political narrative, it's left versus right, etc.
You see how people instantly jump for this, like these dumb fucks just jump to stuff like the suspect who shot Charlie Kirk is allegedly named Michael Mallinson, a registered Democrat in the state of Utah. Like, this guy's fucking trustworthy. Everybody's saying different things, guys, so it's like you can't trust any of this stuff.
I don't know. I actually had a debate set up for tomorrow in Asheville, North Carolina.
Are you still gonna go to your event? Or are you gonna cancel it?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised.
You gotta cancel it, bro.
Honestly, if I was him, well, not even if I was him. Let me take that back. Not if I was him, because he's at a much different level. But I know for me, I would still show up the next day. Because what are you guys gonna do? Just like cower and just like bend the knee to these people and just show fear? Because when you show fear, they're just gonna double down on it. Like, if death is inevitable, guys, you just gotta push through it. Honestly, I'm not saying that he should do that. I'm speaking for myself. You just gotta push through it, and whatever comes, comes.
I would advise to cancel it because
cancel it.
Myron, cancel it. Cancel it. Can't be doing this anymore. You can't put yourself at risk. You have to cancel it.
Especially in the near future.
Out of respect for the guy, as in mourning, also.
Yeah, I literally I just got this info like 10 minutes ago, so I obviously I'm still kind of figuring out what the hell's going on. I didn't even really think about Asheville until you guys brought it up. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I've been careful. I really do think it was Mossad behind this.
If somebody took out Kirk, brother, you know what I mean, and he's not that hard. I mean, someone like you is even more of a target. You know what I mean? So God forbid, some freak. And we don't know what this guy's motive was. I mean, and like Joa could have said, it could have been something like the JFK files or or Epstein. It didn't have to be, some left-wing person. It could be any motive. And we know that your position on things is more, controversial
Extreme.
than Charlie's. And if they're taking out Charlie Kirk's, my God, you, Nick, everyone's got to be worried now. So this is really sick, man.
But that's the question, guys. It's like, yeah, we should be more worried, but like, are we just gonna, like I said, take a step back and just let these people win because we're scared of them, because we're scared of death? Like, if you have a pragmatic solution, if you just want to get a results, then I completely understand this. But if you have a principle, if you have a promise and an obligation that is greater beyond you, then you fulfill that promise. And that's what it is, guys. That's what it is. You can't sit back. I understand sitting back this week maybe, but ultimately we can't just sit back and let these people scare us to death. It just doesn't create anything. It doesn't create anything.
Country where people are snapping. We got people getting stabbed. We got all sorts of things happening day by day. Tomorrow's 9/11, the anniversary. I mean, this is just getting ugly. So I'm very concerned for all of our guys in the front lines, brother. I would definitely cancel, and I'm sure the people would understand. That's just my opinion.
Especially, I agree with you, Luke. Especially in the immediate future, because sometimes what happens with these vigilantes is they'll do like a sequential.
I think when they say Mossad, it was people like Mossad that did that. I think that doesn't really make sense. I think if they wanted to kill any of these people like Nick Fuentes or Myron, they would have done it weeks ago, months ago. They would have done it a long time ago if they wanted to. I think it genuinely is. I don't know which side it is or which part of the spectrum they fall on, but I don't think it's whoever they say that it is. 1 second, guys. I gotta fix my camera. Let me play this this video real quick.
Especially with that huge movement, he will leave an incredible legacy.
I don't want to say.
I mean, I've met Charlie once before in person. I don't know him personally, but I know a lot of people who do. And my chats right now are filled with people who are just wrenched. They can't believe it. I've got people who are being asked to go up on CNN and they're refusing because not because of CNN. They can't keep themselves together. This is just so horrific. And the fact that we have just intense video of it and that there are people that are rejoicing in it. There are pundits that are texting law enforcement now saying, what do you think about the Second Amendment? That just pisses me off, right? It's sick and it's wrong of this thing. And so that's why I hope that we can take a moment to breathe here and recognize the force that was Charlie and what he leaves in his wake there. But most importantly, I hope you pray for his kids and family, because that's just, I can't imagine the wrenchedness that they're going through right now, and what that does to his family, extended family, and those that were closest to him.
I don't know if anyone can see my hand. I've had it raised. I'm probably in this. I just wanted to say, the fact of the matter is, it's really disgusting when I see people rejoice. Is what Schadenfreude, when you rejoice in the suffering of others, because the worst thing you can do, even if you think it's politically motivated and you take another side, you're shooting yourself in the foot, right? Because the most noble and intelligent way to interpret this is to recognize that under the law, and especially in the United States with the Constitution, we see people as individuals, and the criminal should be held accountable for his or her actions, and not to to chastise a whole group of whatever the affiliation is, because that's the divide and conquer mentality, and that's how we get into the spiral of dissent and hatred and division that we see. That's just something that we default to as humans, and I have to remember, I have my differences with him. All of the sympathy and all of my prayers go to all of his family, because this is horrible.
Yeah, it's one thing to live a seasoned life with, political accolades. The guy was 31. And can you imagine what he might have accomplished in his life for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 decades, at least? I mean, I feel so sad.
I'm not gonna lie. When I did not track Charlie Kirk's personal life extensively. I mean, I knew him as a political commentator. this is the first time I'm actually hearing the story. I'm 34, and I was like, that blows my mind that I'm actually older than him, and to see who's somebody who, at that age, I mean, before he was 30, he was a major voice in the U.S. political spectrum and the conservative movement.
I know Charlie. I met Charlie. I remember him when he came with Candace Owens to America First in 2018, 17. And I remember him saying there's this young kid, you know, that was going to lead this movement. And like I said, you guys know me. I don't agree.
But that's the goal. I will post it on the community post on this channel, Mike Glover channel. I just want to say I appreciate you guys supporting me and supporting all the endeavors that we're doing. And everybody, we need to get back to God, family, and community. That's the three-tiered system that's going to lead to success. Put God and your faith in him above everything else, and everything else starts to fall in place. Take care of your family first and foremost, and be involved with what's going on in your community.
I don't see a death date, man. I don't see a death date. Until I see that death date, I'm not gonna give up on it, man. Until I see that death date, bro. I don't see that death date, man.
Things are going to start to make a lot more sense.
They're celebrating it on Telegram, in the shitlib Telegram.
Wow.
Well, why do you keep saying 200 yards? Like, what is that info coming from? What? Just
Didn't
hyperbole?
No, didn't someone say that in here? Or?
Yeah, that was initial.
Right, but where? Why they? How can they know that?
Ryan,
Well,
initial.
I know that.
That's crazy. I'm seeing on TikTok, Dean Withers has 167,000 people watching live. That's interesting. That is interesting. Do you guys think a lot of people that are watching that live, that already have a bias, obviously, do you think that they're happy? You think that they're rooting for it? Or you think they're genuinely praying for his safety? This definitely changes the trajectory of things, guys. Like, to think for people like Myron and me and other people that are my friends, that we go to college campuses and we want to debate and we are outspoken and we have nothing to hold back on. I'm genuinely wondering how much this changes, you know? Because there's the internal selfish part of you that is like paranoid now and more scared, and now you're going to be, you know, on your defense more. But at the same time, it's like you can't just sit back, you know? But I am curious how much it's going to change, though, for people like us.
Bullet sounds like it's from a distance. Like it's like a slap.
It's got to be a sniper.
But it's like a whoosh.
It's definitely a sniper with a suppressor.
Like a whip almost. You can know it's from a further distance. So because it travels
without
so
a doubt
fast from a distance. So
Yeah, the further it is out, the bullet will hit, and then you'll hear the report. So yeah, when it's far out, the bullet's traveling faster than sound, so it'll hit, and then you'll hear the whip crack, or you'll hear the report from the rifle afterwards.
Yeah, because when I saw the video, I was expecting someone in the front row to pull out a handgun. That's what I was waiting for, and then I see him get hit. I heard that snap, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" And I see that blood. I'm like, "Okay, that guy was." And then everyone turns to the right. So
If you remember with the Trump shooting, it was just like,
yeah, it was like there was like a few shots from a distance too. Yeah, so that's yeah, it's definitely a rifle. That I know. That's
I'm wondering how
maybe a 5.56. Dan, what do you think? 5.56? I mean, you can't. I don't know.
Utah Valley University.
An AK. I don't think it was an AK.
That's crazy. Utah seems like a safer place too.
it looked like a large caliber that went through.
Yeah, I'd say probably 7.62 from the, I mean, because the thing is, 5.56 at range becomes a 22, right? I mean, the reason why it does a lot is because of the velocity. So the further out, I mean, when I was in the military, the maximum effective range for that was 400 yards. So I would think it would be a 7.62. I mean, 5.56 is just such an inefficient killing round. So if somebody's going to do this and they know what they're doing, I would assume they're using at least a 308.
Yeah, the 5.56.
I also am curious, guys, within his level of defense and security, how much more could they have prevented something like that? Because it seems that there was a rooftop, same thing as with Trump, that wasn't properly investigated prior to the event. So I'm curious to look at the layout of how they had the event set up and why they didn't cover certain grounds. That's what I would be very curious about. Because the security guards that stand next to him on those events, I mean, they're useless at that point if you're not covering the external positions.
There's a possibility he could be anywhere. Ryan mentioned the possibility that he could have been on a roof. I mean, if he's from a far distance, the points that you're both making in terms of the type of gun that was used, do you think that would still be the case if it was from a further distance and from high up?
I mean, the further away it is, the more likely it is a high caliber round, because what I was saying is that, you know, the 5.56 at distance is not very effective. And it seemed like it seemed like he went down immediately. I mean, it was a pretty big entry wound, and usually you don't get a big entry wound with 5.56. I would assume that it's at least a, 7.62 or 51.
Yeah, the 5.56.
That's definitely not a 5.56.
Up to 500 meters without, but that guy was not that far. But the wound is what gives it away as the size of the bullet. So
yeah, nerd, you're right in the sense, because nerd said Eleazar, stay safe, man. Sometimes it's not worth dealing with these people. I don't do it for the people that I'm debating. I do it because of things like this, because there has to be a cultural shift. And so I 100% agree with you that you can't change these people's minds, that a lot of them are demon possessed. I agree with you. I've questioned a lot of this shit myself. Why am I doing this? But when I question it more and more, and the more I want to run away from something like this, the more I get convictions from God to do what is right. People are commenting all over Myron's. Don't say I confirmed this, but they're saying that Trump confirmed that he has passed away. Erica Kirk is his wife, right? Because I just saw a tweet. Oh, it was 4 hours ago, though. Man, these people are disgusting on this side, on the other side. I don't know why they're saying Trump. I don't know where Trump posted it. I don't see it, guys. I don't know.
Well, I think, look, if you go to the range and train, I mean, it's not that difficult. With a scope, you can shoot anybody, essentially. I mean, the only thing about
Steve, you said you live in Portland, Oregon. A lot of the places where I film my stuff at is in Portland and areas like that. And I plan on doing much more of that this upcoming, like this right now, this school year. But man, my commitment isn't to them. It's not even to the audience that watch my videos. I love that people watch my videos and they respect my stuff and they love my stuff. My commitment is to God, and that's it. Honestly, that's it, guys. Like if someone kills me in broad daylight, if someone stabs me, then so be it. At a certain point, when you're following a principle and a mission, it's greater beyond you. It's not about you. If it was just about me, then I wouldn't be doing this shit. I would be doing things that make me a lot of money. I would be doing things that are a lot easier. I would be doing things in private. I wouldn't be in the public eye. I don't do this for me. So I agree with you, man. These people in Portland specifically are dangerous. They're evil, outright evil. But the commitment and the promise isn't to the viewers or the people I'm debating, guys. That's what it is. And so that's why I tell you guys, you got to truly question yourself. When you're by yourself, you got to truly question your intentions and your motives. Are you doing this because you want to get some sort of ego and pride and you want to get a level of success and notoriety or money or status? Or are you doing it because there's a genuine intention that you have to bring about solutions, even if it's just something as small as a cultural shift? That's what you truly got to ask yourself.
Has passed. Dan did tell us earlier on, but just we wanted verification. But yeah, that is that has been confirmed. Sorry, Lucas, back to you.
I'm just saying that if it was a pro, and I think Dan agrees, that would have been a headshot. And the fact that it's not a headshot, it shows that maybe it's not a pro. But unless he perpetrated a bloodbath, like shooting an artery, you're going to get more than a headshot.
Oh man!
But depending on the round, of course. So yeah, we're probably not a 5.56. I agree with you in there, and it was probably a bigger round. And Yeah, I
That
don't
is
think it
sad,
was a
man.
pro. It could be any American who hunts,
Fuck,
goes to
that
the
is crazy.
range, and they're only 200 meters away with a scope.
A pro would aim center mass. Like, why risk it? It looked like Charlie had just put the mic down and was leaning back, so maybe his head was in that position, and then it was his throat because he was moving. But you know, a professional would just hit him in the heart.
Or the head, either way. But
Fuck.
I mean, we don't know. We got to know who this guy is. You know, if he's just some old man. If it was the old man,
You aim center mass because if you miss,
You're breaking up there a little bit, Brian.
you still hit something.
I'm sorry, guys. I mean, there's a president of the United States. I mean,
Wow.
if the president of the United States is confirming it, then it's true. I know Charlie's very close to the Trump administration. Charlie was instrumental in getting Trump into office. Trump came to Turning Point USA last year when I was there. AmFest. So if the president is reporting this, it's true. Because the ATF and FBI are there on scene. So, what the fuck, man? Yeah, they're there on scene, man. So he's getting the fastest of the fastest updates, man. So,
can you imagine the level of impact that Charlie Kirk has had and the amount of influence and amount of viewership and people that he's persuading their minds and how big of a role and asset he was for like Trump, for example? And now you just erase that man. Like he's no longer like, what do you do now? How do you even go about that? I'm telling you guys, like if this doesn't piss you off and put some fucking fire in you to double down on this kind of work and go out into the streets even more now, then nothing else will.
What the fuck is going on in America, dude?
Like people want to fucking cower right now and get small and contract and run away from the problems, but that's not going to make anything better. You're only going to hide because of fear of death. And once you remove that fear of death, once you're not living just to avoid death, then you can truly be free, guys. And you might not like hearing this, but this is the truth, is that it's got to be a collection of people like us that truly care about truth and sharing it with the world that have to stand up. And you do this by taking it to the streets. You do this by combating them face to face. You don't do it by cowering, by running away when things get hard. You do it by when things are under pressure and your life is at risk, you still stick to your principles and your values.
Because I wanted to get updates as they're coming in. And, you know, we're all finding out together what happened. And to anybody that's celebrating this or think this is funny or some shit like that, man, like, you know, fuck you, man, honestly. I wouldn't wish this on my biggest hater. I wouldn't wish this.
That is crazy, man.
On anybody.
Charlie was so young. I think he's got 2 kids, a wife.
I can't believe that people have the gall to get on TikTok and celebrate, man.
That is crazy, man, just thinking of those people celebrating, honestly.
At the end of the day, this guy still has a family. He has children. He has a wife. He has a family that loves him. You don't have to agree with him politically, but yeah. Rest in peace to Charlie Kirk, man. I never thought I'd be fucking saying that. Life is precious, guys. Life is precious, man. We always think we got more time. We always think, oh, I'll get to it. I'll get to it.
Oh, gosh.
You know. Yeah, I'll go visit my family, you know, in a month or 2. I got to get some work done. Oh, I'll spend time with my family tomorrow because, you know, I got to get some work done. Oh, I'll call my sister tomorrow. It's unfucking believable, man. And this, for me, guys, this hits really hard, man.
Wow.
I literally was just talking to Charlie a few weeks ago, man. I went to his Turning Point event in July, earlier last month. In early July, I was at Turning Point. Talk with his people, been talking with him. You know, he was going to come on an after-hours show. You know, like, oh, this is awesome. And you fast forward a couple of weeks and he's gone because of some fucking piece of shit that doesn't like him helping get Donald Trump in office. Because Charlie Kirk, and I've said this multiple times, guys, Charlie Kirk was instrumental in getting Donald Trump into office. If it weren't for Charlie Kirk, Trump might have lost because Charlie ran all of Trump's ground game pretty much. So there's this piece of shit in the chat named Mick Chilson saying Charlie Pack. Bro, people like you in the chat that are saying something stupid and deplorable and disrespectful like that as a man lost his life, right? You are what's wrong with this country. You are what's wrong with this country. People like you fucking piece of shit. Mick Chilson, whatever the fuck your name is, in the YouTube chat. Some of you motherfuckers gotta fucking get held, like, some of y'all gotta get put on blast, bro. How evil do you gotta fucking be where 13 minutes into the fucking President of the United States confirming that someone passed away, tragically, that you think it's funny to fucking put that shit in the chat, you fucking scumbag. You fucking piece of shit, man. Fucking loser, man. Incredible, bro. What the fuck is going on with this country, bro? What the fuck is going on, man?
To like how position place, obviously for police, but dude, it's never really secure, bro. Being honest.
No, if someone wants to kill you, they'll find a way, no matter what. Right? All sorts of ways to overcome security and do what they want to do, but yeah, obviously the risk is reduced with more security. But how can you secure an open field like this? You just even Trump's Secret Service, which I think was very lax that day for probably obvious reasons. You know, that guy was on a freaking roof, wasn't even in the event, and just took some shots. So here we got, you know, I would never think Charlie Kirk would be a victim of this. I never saw this coming. You know, Charlie Kirk doesn't he supports Israel and all the other rhetoric, but he doesn't preach violence. Like he doesn't. We should attack the left. And I don't know. It's just I'm shocked by this. I'm very shocked by this.
But Lucas, imagine. Let's say we're picking sides here, right? He's not on our side, so to speak, right? And they took him out. More so, even imagine people hate us on this side. That's like 10x.
Well, that's why I'm concerned with Myron, bro. What do you think? I mean,
me too. Me too.
I'm like, God damn, if they took out him, what about someone like Myron? For, you know, God forbid I walk in public. You know, I don't do events. I'm not like that. But God, man, I'm concerned of anyone who does an event at this point. I'm concerned. I mean, look, even Destiny can get shot.
I'm wondering if they're gonna catch a shooter from Iran.
Oh yeah,
yeah, uncensored. Let me just say this again. I strongly recommend you cancel tomorrow's event. This is not the type of environment you want to hold an event in. This is just not it.
And it's 9/11 tomorrow.
I gotta make a call in a bit, guys. In a couple minutes, so I might mute myself.
Who, you know, lost someone in the towers and wants to get vengeance. I mean, typically these things happen. Look, we had a stabbing yesterday.
Or I might just text.
An assassination today. Tomorrow's 9/11. Who knows what the fuck?
Tomorrow is 9/11. That is crazy.
Look, I'm not gonna tell you to run your business. I'm just saying, you know, I love Myron. I don't want to see him get hurt. You know, he's a very powerful voice. He's really good at what he does. The last thing I want to see is my friend get shot in the fucking neck or face or anything over a topic, which, I mean, because look, to avoid terrorism, you have to be, you can't have the same patterns, right? They teach you in the manual, if you go out the left door, go out the right door one day. So now we have an established date, which is tomorrow. You know exactly where it is. If someone wants to do a copycat killing, right, they can do it. You know, I mean,
yeah, knowing that as well, sometimes people don't do this as a one-off. It'd be sequential. They might do one another day. There might be other people, as you said, who are copycats. It's just there's too much of a security risk to do it tomorrow. There's no doubt about that. Like,
it's only my, let's suppose there is some kind of, secret operation to eliminate all conservative influences. Well, there's Charlie, who's another one. Myron, who's another one. And you just, all of them get not. What if this whole week is about getting rid of these people?
exactly.
What if there's a 9/11 plot where it's like, let's kill all the conservative guys in one shot, literally? You know what I mean? I
And
would.
so be it.
That's just me.
And then blame it on Iran.
Yeah, I mean the biggest thing here is that the shooter is on the run. He hasn't been apprehended. I'm still checking. I can't see any information about being apprehended. Therefore, this shooter is at large.
How would he be on the run?
What about any information on him in general, like height, weight?
Nothing, because the first guy was apprehended, which is a 70-year-old Caucasian, a male. He was apprehended. He obviously was very much anti-Trump, and he was pro-Biden, but clearly it's been confirmed that he wasn't the guy. So therefore, we have no information on this guy. He's at large. He's on the run. We have no information.
That is
about
crazy
him
to think of.
But isn't that kind of, I was saying before, isn't that kind of weird that you just arrest some dude with no gun on him, no nothing? And that kind of gives the other guy a way to run away, kind of thing. If this was a setup, you arrest some old random guy. Oh, we got him. And then the other guy's already gone. Because why would you arrest this guy? Where's his gun? Does he have a gun? I mean, why'd you arrest him? I don't know. That's very strange. Just pick someone and they always do this. Every time there's a shooting, the guy just, oh, never mind. It's not him. It's this other one. Oh, the other guy's gone. We don't know who he is.
They did this last time, remember? Yeah. They did this last time where they arrested that pro-Palestinian guy, and then everyone said he was pro-Palestinian when he wasn't. And so even with this one, everyone thought it was this 70-year-old Caucasian male. And again, I just think it's part of this like a psyop where they try and make it look like it's somebody when it's not. But yeah. Sorry, I've got another breaking news. The tweet should be getting to the nest any second now. But we mentioned that there's a Colorado shooting. Well, a Colorado high school shooting. I posted the wrong thing. But anyway, there's a Colorado high school shooting. 3 teens are in critical condition. So there is a Colorado high school shooting and 3 teens are in critical condition. So there's also a mass shooting in in Colorado as well. This is this is going to be there's going to be a big conversation about gun crimes now, isn't there? And whether this should be about what's your thoughts on that, Lucas?
Yeah, and look, Trump was very close to Charlie. I think Trump will take it personally and do what Trump does, go too far and maybe start passing laws that are not right for everyone else who doesn't misuse their weapons. I mean, there's a school shooting now, and this might come from, ironically, all the Republican sides. You know what I mean? Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, this is very disturbing. So, I don't even own a gun. Everyone knows that. But the thing is, like, I don't want anyone's guns rights to be limited or taken from them. And that's what these things do. They will take advantage of this, no matter what the real story is, to push gun control or whatever other control, or maybe Palantir's, some kind of surveillance thing that they want to push out. Like, hey, we could have stopped this if we knew his face. Who knows, man? But I don't trust the government taking advantage of any situation, whether it's engineered or not, so.
Oh yeah. And look, at the end of the day, we're gonna go to speak about this later once we've conversed about this. But I mean, I do believe that these events, either intently or without intent, are going to be used for mass surveillance, both in the United States and the United Kingdom. There's no doubt in my mind about that. And this will be a way of taking away people's guns for sure, because they'll say it's for your safety. Because this guy, let's say he is the shooter, let's say he is apprehended, let's say there is but then, for example, he doesn't have a medical condition, or he hasn't got mental health issues. Then the question becomes like, what's the motive, and whether other people have the same type of motive. And there's a lot of question marks that come about based on that. So yeah, I do think that there will be major issues. But yeah, as I mentioned, the tweets in the nest, 3 teens are critically hurt in Colorado school shooting. So there's also a school shooting in Colorado.
Wow.
With the 3 teens who are in critical condition right now.
Yeah, and that's just going to increase this conversation to get. And look now, because you got Charlie Kirk dead, people are going to mourn for that. Now you got kids dead, high school kids. You got this woman, Irina, dead. So I don't know what. It's almost like this week is going to be a very bloody week. I don't see. Maybe something else will happen. God forbid. But This is just instability of America, guys. This is what's going on. The divide and conquer is on full effect, and it's just going to get worse, sadly. So I think everyone needs to be safe. You know, I honestly don't go out anymore. I go to the gym maybe, and I go to Costco. I don't leave my house. I honestly, I just, what's there to do out there other than get hurt? You know, so I don't know. I don't see the America I grew up in. You know, just in one generation, I don't see the America that I fought for in Iraq, quote unquote, fought for, because obviously it was a fake war. But things have changed so much, and we got to be very cognizant of that and be very careful. So I'm very concerned for everyone's safety in this whole thing. I mean, everyone here can be in danger, no matter where you live, because political tensions are like this all over the West. You know, and look, with Israel doing what it's doing, and they control the media, they could play us off each other, guys. They could they could increase racial tensions, they could decrease them. They could make Islamophobia, anti-whiteness, you name it. They could just play with our emotions, and also the algorithms manipulate us as well. So we got to be very cognizant of what's being fed to us, what's we're allowed to see, you know, and always be skeptical, because I think there's always something else going on. And I'm not saying that as a conspiracy theorist. I mean that literally. You know, this guy got arrested for what? Why'd they arrest that old man? Did someone say gun?
It's funny you mentioned. I'm actually feeling the racial strings being pulled, like, because I got a lot of left and right wing friends, and all the left wing friends are texting me like, "Hey, this racist guy Charlie Kirk, or this Zionist racist guy Charlie Kirk, you heard about it? You heard about it?" And I'm like, "Dang." And from the right wing, like, they're giving a more Tariq Nasheed type of explanation about it, and the right wingers are just like, you know,
just some more breaking news. A couple of the breaking news, and then I'll give it straight to Simon. So the first one is Marco Rubio has made a statement. He said, "Jeanette and I are devastated. Charlie Kirk's commitment to America's future generations and sense of patriotism will resonate for decades to come. May the Lord bless Charlie and his family." We also have the Utah Senator Curtis, who says, political is violence escalating, so which is so he's made a statement as well. We also have Nancy Mace, who made a statement saying, "Our hearts break for the family of Kirk, Turning Point USA, and all who had the privilege of knowing Charlie personally. He was a beacon of true leadership."
It's a revolution. It hasn't been seen in 2,000 years.
That we feel like, okay, God, you're really good, but I just want to get off. I just want to get off. And I think it's important for us in moments like this where you feel like that, I just want to get off. This is just horrific. I mean, just in the last couple of days, the videos that have come across our feeds of that precious, beautiful woman on the train in Charlotte, senseless murder, hate. This girl, 23 years old, her whole life taken from her by a stranger for no reason, and all of us had to witness that footage. And then to see the footage of Charlie getting shot, it's just horrific. It's horrific, and you feel like, God, I just want to get off and just be with you where there's no murder and evil and hatred or betrayal. And I know that in moments like this, that's the kind of hope you have as a believer. Even, it seems twisted, right? I want to get off. But it's the kind of hope we have as a believer is to know that this truly is evil. This isn't random. This isn't simply chaos. It's not meaningless. You see and feel the weight of the evil that we've all had to witness the last couple of days. And as a Christian, you get to actually call it evil. You get to be outraged. You get to grieve. But as a Christian, knowing what we know about God and a hope we have in eternal life, the goodness of Jesus, we know that as awful as this world is, we can grieve, and we have a right to grieve because we know the truth about that's really evil and that ought not to be. But we grieve not like the world. We don't grieve like those without hope. And the hope that we have isn't just some kind of wishful thinking about the future and wishful thinking about God. It's a guaranteed assurance. It's known to God from all eternity are all of his works. That God declares the end from the beginning. And even the mess, even the hatred and the evil and the bloodshed, all of that, it doesn't thwart God's purposes. There is no meaningless evil in this world. And somebody says, but even murder? Even murder? And you look at the goodness of God and his power and you say, yes, there is no purposeless evil, and God is in control, and he's sovereign, and he's still on his throne, and he's still the good God. Because yes, even in the murder of Jesus, it's something that God foreordained for his glory and for the good of his people. And so I don't have all the answers. I'm not going to pretend to. And in a moment like this, it's not time for the significant answers. It is time for the promises. And so I'm going to just read some scripture here, and then I want to, if you would, join me in prayer for Charlie's precious family. John chapter 11 is the famous section where it's the death of Lazarus and the raising of Lazarus. This is what I will always go to in the circumstances we have to endure where there is death and the death of a believer like Charlie. Charlie knew Jesus. Charlie's with Jesus now. But Lazarus died. You know the story. In verse 17 of chapter 11, John, it says this: Now when Jesus came, he found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb 4 days. Bethany was near Jerusalem, about 2 miles off, and many of the Jews had come to Martha and Mary to console them concerning their brother. So when Martha heard that Jesus was coming, she went and met him. But Mary remained seated in the house. Martha said to Jesus, Lord, if you'd been here, my brother would not have died. Can I say something about that for a moment? That. Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died. I do think that the substance of that statement by Martha to Jesus is what we are all thinking in moments like this. It may come out in a different way, a different form, but it's the same thing. Lord, if you had been here, my brother wouldn't have died. Lord, if you were present, if you were here, you could have stopped this. So there's sort of a, how do you put this? It's like a respectful accusation being made to Jesus. It's respectful, but it's also kind of an accusation. If you'd have been here, if you'd have been doing your job, if you'd have been the sovereign God that you say that you are, my brother wouldn't have died. How many people feel that with the death of a child?
Obviously I'm speculating here, but it does show that the person who did this was planning this a while. And clearly he doesn't want to be captured, or she doesn't want to be captured, depending on who the shooter is. And I think that is a key threat that needs to be focused on for the community, because a lot of those, and I would be interested to see how local, state, we haven't really seen a press conference yet. And Sarah, correct me if I'm wrong, we haven't received any notification of a press conference coming in soon from law enforcement, correct? I have not seen
I
anything.
haven't seen anything, and we're poised to stream if a news conference is had. I'm surprised, given how much time has passed, that something has not gone out from the police, that they have not done a news conference, considering that this suspect is at large in this community. I think if I were a member of that community, I would want to know or hear from the police department where they think the suspect is, and should people remain in their homes or their businesses, or should their kids remain in school. This is terrifying.
No, absolutely. Jess, I think you had your hand up. I'm glitching. I don't know if you had anything additional if you wanted to share some original comments. I don't think we've heard from you yet. Go ahead, Jess.
Yeah, hey guys. I'm not gonna lie, I shed some tears over this when I saw this a little while ago. I I'm a father of five, and on a much smaller level, I've been a political figure. I'll never forget when I was a local official, a guy that was elected right alongside me was killed in the line of duty, a constable, really a good man, Constable Brian Bachman. And as I think about this, I think about, of course, I think about his children, I think about his wife.
Hey guys, I'm gonna get off live. It's heartbreaking, man. Obviously, prayers for Charlie. I'm gonna be praying tonight for him. Um, it is crazy how your life can be taken at an instant, but the one thing that gives me happiness is knowing that Charlie was doing what was right, and he was fulfilling a mission and a duty that is greater beyond him. And there's a lot of peace knowing that he's in a much better place than we are, because we are going to keep witnessing a lot of evil every single day, as Pastor Jeff Turbin was saying. But I'm just gonna get back to this, man. I'm gonna keep on working, and I need your guys' support, man. I need your guys' support to follow me on this mission. By support, I just mean I need you guys to stay strong. I need you guys to stand up to these people as well. I need you guys to be a strong voice for these people as well. There are kids that rely on you, even if you don't know it. There are kids that want to look up to someone. There are kids that need inspirations. There are kids that need role models. And in times like this, you can either cower and contract and get small and get little, or you can double down, triple down, quadruple down on a mission. And so I'm planning on in the next few weeks. I have a lot of stuff that we're doing behind the scenes right now, with personal stuff. But ideally, the goal is to get back out on the streets at these universities like Portland, Eugene, Seattle, and keep doing what I'm doing now, but at a bigger level. Because when you free yourself from the fear of death, then you truly feel free. And when you're following a mission, guys, and you know you might die, fulfilling that mission, even if it's at a small scale, you feel a lot more happiness, a lot more fulfillment from it. So I hope that you guys are with me on this. We must not let these people scare us down and let us hide in our homes, in our basements, but rather to stand up and to fight for something that Charlie Kirk was fighting for. I think he's going to, as more time passes, we're going to look at people like Charlie Kirk and realize he was a legend. So we need to stand up together, guys. It's the Christ versus the Antichrist. You're either for him or you're against him.